Welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to look at a plugin for your Elastic system called the Complex Subscriber plugin. Now the idea of the Complex Subscriber plugin is for people that want to gather information from their customers. Let me show you what I mean. On our dummy website here we've got set up a Complex Subscriber form. In this case it's called newsletter and the page address is /newsletter. And you'll see this is what the Complex Subscriber is able to do. It can create a form with any number of fields that you like so that a user can enter that data. Now this might be handy to just collect basic information from a person. You might want them to sign up for a newsletter, but you need to gather their age or their gender or any other information. Perhaps you're running a weekend seminar and you'd like them to put in the choices of which seminar they're going to attend and things like that. So the Complex Subscriber gives you the flexibility to collect any type of data and any combination of data. And at the end of it, they can submit that data and you collect it and you've got access to that information. Now let me show you how we set this up. If I come to the dashboard of my site, you'll see on the left here under plugin features, because the Complex Subscriber is a plugin, is the Complex Subscriber option. First thing to do is to make sure your page layout is set up. You've got to choose the right layout so that your page looks nice when people are working on that page. I've used a one column layout here so that we've got plenty of space to fit all of our information in. Then we go to subscriber types. Now you can have an unlimited number of subscriber types. So here, this is our newsletter subscriber type that we've got already set up. But I'm actually going to add a new subscriber type. I'm going to call this one Contact. Actually, I'll call this Contact Us. So that's the name of the subscriber type. You could have newsletter 1, newsletter 2, newsletter 3, any number of combinations that you want. You can have as many subscriber types as you like. Now, you've got a couple of choices. You can leave these tick boxes blank, which just means you'll gather the information. Or you can make this a paid form, where people use predominantly PayPal, or you might use a payment gateway like eWay, and you can actually collect payments from people. So if this was going to be a paid newsletter or a paid report, you can set up a Complex Subscriber page to collect the payment for that. And you can put the amount in, free trial periods, whether it's recurring, how often it recurs, a few different things. Another important item here is this email verification. If you tick this box, when the person subscribes, they'll get an email sent to them with a link in it. Now they'll need to click that link to verify their email. If they click that link, it means that they have a valid email, and so you know that they've put in the correct details and they're not a spam bot or some other nefarious type of person. It's a legitimate way of checking the identity of somebody. Okay, now we're going to put in a few other details here. So this is for our Contact Us subscriber page. So I'm going to call the page Contact Us, or it could be Form 1, Newsletter 1, bookings, anything that you want. The page URL, I'm going to call it Contact Us. Okay, so that'll be the /Contact Us. Okay. Now page content, sidebar 1, sidebar 2. This is what allows you to put some information on the page. Because each Complex Subscriber form has its own page. Scrolling down, we've got a few other pieces of information here. This confirmation text. This is the text that gets displayed after the user subscribes. So when the person comes to your form, fills out their information and clicks the subscribe button, another page is displayed and it shows this information here. So you might have your contact details, you might have information about their booking. If you were selling an ebook, you could even have a link to the ebook or the video or whatever it is that you're selling at this point. Now the confirmation email box, when the person subscribes, they get an email from the system saying, thank you, you've subscribed. And the text here in this box goes into that email. So I'm just going to copy that. And this one is going to be information that gets emailed after subscribing. Great, and that's it. So that's our form set up now. We've got a subscriber type, we've got the page title, the page URL, the content that's going to go on the page, our confirmation text, our confirmation email, and I'm going to save that. Once you've added all of the subscriber types that you need, the next thing to do is to set up the subscriber form. Now, if we go back to complex subscriber and then down to subscriber form, you'll see here in a vertical list are all of your different subscriber types. We're going to use the newsletter one that we've already set up here. You'll see that here are all the different fields that are available, and you've either got a green tick or a red cross. So the green tick means that you're going to use that field, the red cross means that you're not. To edit all of them quickly and effectively, we can click the option at the bottom, and then we can tick or untick the available. So for this particular form, I don't want all of these fields. These are ones that have been created earlier, and you can have any combination of field that you like. But what I do want the person's website. I don't want password. I do want their mobile. So you can see in the available column, I'm going to ask the person to give me their first name, last name, the organisation they're from, their phone, their mobile, their email, their password, not their password, their street address, their suburb, state, country, postcode, how did you hear about us, and their website. Now sometimes you want to make sure that people do complete the information, because if you don't, they'll leave lots of information out. And you'll see these little red asterisks here. They are created by using the compulsory field. So by ticking this box, it forces the user to enter that information. So they have to enter their first and last name, organisation's okay, phone they have to enter, email they have to enter, street address they have to enter, how did you hear about us, not so fussed about that, and website, I'm not so fussed about that. So now that I've done that, I'll save the information, and you can see now, here's my form. All the green ticks are the fields that are going to be included, and all the red crosses are the fields that are not going to be included. If I click on the little page icon here, I can go and have a look at my form. So here's my form. These are the fields that I wanted. Now you can take this a step further, because not only can you have the particular fields, but you can change the way that you collect the information. Plain text means it'll just display some information that you've written. A text box is a small, like this country box here, that's a text box. A text area is a larger area for gathering information. So for example, in a text area you might say something like, give us your bio, tell us some things about yourself, do you have any instructions for us? A password field hides the data so that it comes up as dots. Country list is a pre-programmed drop-down of countries. A drop-down means that they can make selections. A checkbox is a tick box. A checkbox list is like a display screen where you can select multiple options. And a radio button is like a little dot inside a button. So We'll do a few of these things in a moment. Let's go back to our form. So let's see what we can do. Maybe the how did you hear about us box here. Let's make that not a text box, but we're going to make that one a drop down. Now what we do for the drop down is we put the values in. So Google, and then you separate them with a comma. Google, newspaper, friend. And there's a variety of different options that you can do here. Here at the bottom where it says available for, these tick boxes show you which contact forms will use this particular field. So at the moment we're only using the newsletter form. So let me save that. There we go. Okay. Now I'll go to my form and have a look. So here are my fields. Now do you remember before, how did you hear about us? We changed this from a text box, this is a text box here, to this drop down. Can you see how it shows Google, newspaper, friend, all those options that we put in before? I can show you a few more of these options, so let me go through, and what I'll do is I will add in a few more little fields here. So let's put a few of these back in. So we'll put in this side 1, side 2, side 3, side 4 and side 5. And I'm going to edit these to be different types of fields. At the moment they all say text box. So let me edit this one. Rather than a text box, I'm going to put in plain text. And in the value I'm going to write this is some text, and you'll see how that plays out. Great. In side 2, I'm going to change that one to a text area. Now we don't need a value for text area, so I'll just save that. Side 3, let's make this one, we've done drop down, we'll make this one a checkbox. Now you need some options, some values for a checkbox. So I'll put in there, please select. Now number 4, side 4, instead of a text box, we're going to make this one a text box list. So we need a few values for this one. We might put in dog, cat, chicken, sheep, and we'll see this one. And finally, side 5, we are going to make this one a radio button. And you also need to have some values here. So let's call this one red, blue, yellow. Alright, let's go and have a look at our form now. So you'll see the bottom here, it's actually substantially different than what it was before. Let's fill out our form. First name, I'll put in my details, Chris. Okay, so I'm putting in my details there. Put in my first name, my last name, organisation. Let me leave phone out so that we can see what happens here. I've put in an address, country drop down there. How did you hear about us? Let's say from the newspaper. What's my website? I don't want to put that in. Now, here's a text area that we were talking about before. Here's our checkbox list with all of our different options that people can pick. And here are our radio buttons. Now, where checkboxes and radio buttons are different, with checkboxes, you can select any combination that you like. With radio buttons, you can only select one. So if you want to force the user to only select one option, a radio button is a great idea. If you want them to say, what pets do you have? You might say, oh, I have a dog, a cat and a sheep. And if you say to them, what's your favourite colour? You can't have more than one favourite colour, so maybe a radio button is the best option. They then fill in the anti-spam captcha here and click submit. Now I'm not going to do the anti-spam captcha just to show you what happens, and I'll click submit. And it comes up with a warning. It says, please enter phone. If you remember, we made phone compulsory, but I haven't put a value in here. So let me put in a fake phone number. And click submit, and now it's saying please enter anti-spam code, because I haven't entered the anti-spam code here. 4 plus 5 is 9, of course. Let's give it a go. Okay, the form is processing now, and it's going to take us to the confirmation page. Here we go. Now this is my confirmation page, and it has some information here. It says this text is shown to the subscriber. If you remember, we added this when we created our subscriber type before. So that can be unique, that text. It also gives an instruction saying an email verification link has been sent to your email address. Do you remember before we had the option of setting that we wanted to verify the email? This is just saying to the user that they've had that email and they need to go and click on the link. Essentially, that's how this complex subscriber works. If we now come back to our admin and go to our subscriber list, you'll see here are all the different subscribers that have added to that list. And here's the one from today. It has the subscriber list, so you know where they came from, their email address. It has the date they subscribed, and it'll say pending. That means that they haven't clicked on that email address to verify it yet. You can then use that information to contact that person, send them any information that you like. But the best part is if you click on this edit link here, it brings up all of those form fields and it shows you all of the answers that the person put in. So you've got all of those answers there available and ready to use. So you can use that data in any way that you need. In a nutshell, that's the complex subscriber. It can do quite a few more things than that, but essentially that's it and its main functionality.